Good morning and welcome to our October webinar. Today's session will cover everything that you need to know about the Wave 2 release for D365 Business Central. My name is Nick Dunstone. I'm an engagement manager here at Nexa, and today I have the pleasure of introducing our BC pre-sales consultant, Kevin Moore. And Kevin Moore is going to be walking us through those Wave 2 updates from Microsoft in a few moments. You can change the slide, please, Kevin. As there's sort of a mixture of different people within the presentation today, potentially prospective and existing customers, I'll start with a very brief introduction to Nexa before handing over to Kevin. So Nexa essentially are a Microsoft delivery partner with a wide range of capabilities across the full Microsoft platform, including but not just limited to Dynamics. We can also provide consulting services for Copilot, Power Platform, Data, Azure, and also M365 as well. The range of services that we're able to provide and support our clients with are intended to help customers guide through the digital transformation process, and can include pre and post project assessments, implementations, and also then providing the right level of ongoing support through our Care 365 package after the implementations have been completed as well. All of the services that we provide that we've shown here as well are underpinned by our proven change management processes, and also strong project governance as well, all of which combined go to ensure a consistent delivery approach for our projects and provide that long-term success for clients as well. We're not going to focus on those particular areas today, so here's the agenda that we're going to look at today, and as you can probably imagine, most of it is around new Copilot features for the BC solution as well. But if you do have any other questions at the end, by all means, please let us know. Come back and you can talk to either your engagement manager, and we'll provide a contact email as well. Given the amount of topics that we're going to try and cover today in today's session, we won't be able to fit in the Q&A. So time is a bit limited because there is a lot to get through. So if there is anything you see and you want to pick up on or come back and ask us about, please feel free to do that. Like I say, you will get an email address or reach out to your project manager or your engagement manager as well at the end of the session. Okay, without further ado, I'll hand over to Kevin, who's going to walk us through those new features and benefits of the D365 Wave 2 update for BC. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for all those watching. And as Nick said, we've got a bunch of new features to show you. Some features that already are in the system, but with some enhancements and some improvements to show you. One or two small things, and then, as you might imagine, Copilot and agents, the big new thing for Wave 2 in Business Central. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the agents there as well. And then we're going to look at some improvements around sustainability. There's some of the new things around embedded analytics in Power BI and the new quality module that's coming next year within this wave. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Tell Me feature. Those of us that are using Business Central already are quite used to using the magnifying glass up here, where you can press, key in a search, and you can search for things on the menu, and also into the heart of your data as well. And that works quite well. It works very well, in fact. And here you can see I'm using the traditional out-of-the-box Tell Me feature, search feature. I can type in the word sales and it finds anything with the word sales at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, anywhere at all. It's really very, very good. There is now, though, the advanced option in Tell Me, and this enables you to do a little bit further and use a semantic search. So it isn't just searching for the word within the result, it's also searching for the semantic meaning. So if it thinks there's something that's got sales in its search, it will find it and bring it on the screen. So here they are. They happen to all have the word sales in them. Salesperson is an exception, I suppose. And so that's a new feature that will be available to you, and you'll be able to use that within this wave. A reminder about Copilot for you. Copilot is in the heart of Business Central. It appears all over the place now, and it helps you with finding information, learning new skills. It helps with comparisons, so things like bank statements, incoming e-documents, sustainability now as well. There's also some improvements around the way it does an analysis. So you'll see that as well, and suggesting new things like product descriptions, numbering patterns, and that sort of thing. So lots of new things around Copilot in Business Central. There are three areas where you really think about AI within Business Central. In the centre of that, we have the things like the chat, the ability to summarize, helping with analysis, that sort of thing, and the bank rec. But then on the right-hand side, you'll see we can extend that out to the wider Microsoft world. So you can start to use it in things like Power Apps and Copilot Studio and Power Automate and all those good things. And on the left-hand side are our new agents. The two we'll be focusing on today are the sales and the payables ones. More enhancements are happening to the payables one and the other ones, and new agents are coming. And then down the bottom there, you'll see that we have the ability to produce custom agents using the agent builder. That gives you the power to build more agents that help you. Before we get to that, though, we're just going to go through some of the things that already exist in the system, but that had some slight improvements. So first of all, the find facility. Those of you that are using this already will recognize the fact that you can, in Copilot, start to talk to your Business Central system. So under preview already, we have things like looking up here. I'm asking it to look up an account and show me any invoices that happen to be due. And it's come back with 3. It's given me the amounts, and it's talked about any other additional ones. Down the bottom here, for example, I can look at more invoices that are due if I want to see them. The improvement here is performance primarily. So you'll find that in the Wave 2, they've done a lot of work to make this much more instant than it used to be. So that's quite interesting. Along the same lines, we have the explain functionality. So Copilot is popping up. I could have asked for the explanation down on my question here. I could have asked the question and said, explain how to use this or explain this field. I've happened to press the help button, the Copilot button within the field itself, and I've asked it to explain how I would use reordering policy. And then on the right-hand side, it's come back and explained what the order policies are, under what circumstances I would use them, and so on. And you can use that feature throughout the whole of Business Central. Again, the improvement here for Wave 2 is the much faster response, much quicker to use. And then finally, in these 3 sort of chat areas, we have the ask ability. So here I've said to the system, can you show me how I might create a workflow for purchasing, how I go about it, what the best practices are, and so on and so forth. And the system has come back with that. And yeah, again, the performance improvement is what you get out of those 3 areas. So we see that being used more and more. Reminder, of course, you don't just have to ask it things like that. You can ask it to go in and say things like, show me all the invoices that are more than a certain value, that have been overdue for more than a number of months, and for a certain group of customers, and so on. The autofill feature is also within the system. Wave 2 brings much more wide searching into the internet, into the web. Here, for example, I've keyed in a company name, and the system is going to search the web, and it's going to come back with all sorts of information about that customer and pre-populate it for you. This works all throughout the system. Could be product, could be suppliers, could be anything at all. Here it's found the city, the county, and the postcode. Also located a phone number and an email address and a home page. It will populate whatever it can, and then you can untick the items you don't want it to complete. You can individually select them, or you can just keep the whole lot, and it will help you with populating fields. So we see that as being quite an interesting addition. Finally, summaries. Summaries is Copilot's attempt at helping you to summarize information about a record you're looking at. In this particular case, I'm looking at a customer card, and the summary page has come back and said that there's a balance on the account. Here's what it is. they're approaching their credit limit. There are no ongoing sales orders or invoices, but there are 9 posted invoices and so on. And when I click any of those fields, it will put a blue box around the field in question, so focusing your attention onto that. This is being extended in Wave 2 to start to bring back much more information. It starts to respect multiple currencies and that sort of thing. So that's the improvements there for you. I don't know how many of you are using page scripting for things like testing new features, running through, making sure things are working properly or not. But I'll just remind you what it looks like in the system. So this is Business Central, and if I go to my page scripting, I could, of course, start a new recording and record a set of steps that I want to run or test. I've actually created one already, so I'm going to load that here. Here's my recording, and there's a bunch of steps. And if I run this recording, you'll see that it will go through those steps. In this case, going into a new item, creating a template, adding the item, and I'm looking for green ticks throughout to make sure nothing's broken, everything works properly. And that already exists. The new features, though, are the following. First of all, you can now insert new steps into your script and rearrange them. So if it isn't quite what you want it to be, or you've changed a business process or anything like that, you can now insert those steps yourself. Previously, you had to go to the file head at the file itself. Here you can do it in the menu. You can equally delete steps you no longer want. You can also now introduce parameters into the system. So if you want it to, when it runs the script, insert a user parameter, you can do that, or have it stop and ask you for a question rather than just run through beginning to end. It can stop and ask you for parameters, which is quite nice. And then finally, you can now link to other scripts as well. So if you want this script if you want your testing script to add a record, add a price, create a sales order, and so on, you can run those various scripts and link them together. It's quite nice. So some improvements there for you. That is going to be available this month, any day now. Now we come on to I suppose, the main feature of this release. I think arguably that will be true, and that will be our agents. There are 2 I'm going to show you today. There's the sales agent, and there's the payables agent. The sales agent is designed to communicate automatically back and forth with customers. So think of it as your kind of helping hand, not designed to completely automate and take the human being out of the equation altogether, although it can. It's really designed to sit there as a helping hand for you. So a customer can communicate with your Business Central system. The agent can kick in and carry out some of the mundane tasks, ask additional questions, try and understand what the customer is trying to ask for, when they're asking for, where they want goods delivered and what goods they are asking for, whether the customer wants a quote or whether they want a sales order or whatever. And that is something we see growing as well. The payables agent is currently enabling you to capture and post invoices without GRN matching, without 3-way matching at the moment. But the idea here is it will receive the supplier invoice, it will capture the information from the invoice, and then it will register the invoice according to whatever company policies you would have had in place had you have done the process manually. Coming for next year is a further improvement to the payables agent, and we think around about January time, where it will start to also cross-reference purchase orders and enable a 3-way match, which is very exciting. Down at the bottom, you see to the left using Agent Builder with no code at all, running through to the right using ProCode with Azure AI. But the idea of this bottom layer is that you can now create as many additional agents as you desire as well. So if there's something that you want an automation for, you can create it. Let's have a little look then at the sales agent, really quite an interesting one. So here I've got a parameter screen. I'm just turning it on as simple as saying you want to enable it, and you tell it which email address you want to monitor. You can create as many different sales agents as you require, looking at different email addresses. I've got one, and this one's going to respond to inquiries. I can control under what circumstances I want to step in with a manual review. So for registered senders and unregistered senders, I get to control whether I want to step in or not. I've said I always do, but you can say things like, well, for the first 5 or 10, I'm going to step in, and then after that, I'll just let the system do its thing. Or you can say, I never want to step in, it's fully automatic, and that's very much up to you. New feature down here on the sales agent that was introduced subsequently was the include capable to promise. So here, when a customer's asking for something, the system's capable of saying, look at my capable to promise to make sure the date I'm giving, if the customer has asked for it or whether they haven't, is something that I can actually physically do. And then on the right hand side, you'll see I can decide when I step in for quotes, whether I step in for orders as well. I get to control that. So let's have a little look at what happens. This is an email I've created. I'm sending an email into NEA UK Pre-Sales, which is an email address that that is monitored by my agent. And I've said, I need another quote, please, for the following. So I'm asking for 2,500 chicken wings. I'm asking for 2,600 spicy chicken breasts, and I want them delivered by a given date. I have actually attached a purchase order example as well. The system doesn't need this at all, but I've attached it so you can see it flows into the system. The key here, though, is that I haven't been very prescriptive. I haven't given stock codes or anything like that. I've just given a description. So a human being would have to look at that, interpret it, and that's what the agent's going to do for me. So back in Business Central then, here I've got 2 agents at the moment running. I've got a purchase one, and a payables one, and a sales one. Sales one's got a number 1 against it, telling me I've got one open task that needs some attention, needs a review. And this timeline sort of tells you where you are in the process, or where the sales agent is in the process, I suppose. I've got a review because I've asked it to review, and when I click on that, I get to see, in this case, the incoming email from the customer. That's the date it was received. There's the message, which we saw already in my email. And you'll notice that it also has the fact there are some attachments, and the attachments down the bottom here. And I can show those attachments if I want to. Here's the attachment. Here's the purchase order that's come from the customer. As I say, this isn't a required step. It's just something that happens to work well. But I'm happy with that. I'm going to confirm it. It then automatically says, okay, then I'm going to create you a sales quote. So it's asking me here to review it because I have my review step turned on. So there's a sales quote for Kevin Moore, for Tesco, 2,500 spicy chicken wings, 2,600, or both for delivery on a given date. It's just asking me to make sure everything's correct, which I'm going to do. So here is the sales quote that the system has created. There are 4 changes I need to check. I can click on those. Notice that the delivery date is respecting what the customer has asked for. Notice that it's found the item codes, the stock codes, and put those in. It knows the quantity, it knows what we're ordering, and it understands equally the customer price as well. I'm happy with that. So that quote needs to go back out to the customer. So Business Central will now create an outgoing email. Here's the email. It's crafted an email, added all the text in for me. It understands the currency and the quantities and the price, everything else. I'm happy with that. Again, I've got a confirmation step turned on, so I'll say thank you very much, and that email's gone. Now I'm back in Outlook, and we can see an incoming email from Business Central, from Nexa, I suppose, to me, and it said, thank you for the request. Please find the summary of your sales quote. Here is the sales quote, which is the textual version of the quote itself, but it's also attached the Business Central formatted quote that you would normally attach manually, and there is the quote coming out of the system as well. So that's nicely done. Now the customer could, if they wanted to, go back and forth now and say, well, actually, I need them a bit sooner, or I've forgotten I need another item, or whatever they want to do. The communication can go back and forth as you wish. But in this case, the customer's gone back and said, yep, go ahead and place the order for me. So when that comes back, AI has read the email, and it's going to understand what I'm trying to do. Here is the email. I've got review turned on, of course. Don't need that. And here is the email. Sorry, here's the sales order. It's created the sales order. It's pretty happy with it. You'll notice down the bottom here, it's attached the purchase order as well. It's ready to go. Again, finally, an outgoing email to the customer to say, yeah, very, very good. I've got your order. It's created, and off the email goes to the customer. On the payable side of life, we have something similar. This time I'm a supplier. I'm going to send in a purchase invoice for some coffee. The agent has spotted that. This time you'll see my payables agent has got a trigger on. There are actually two emails there, but I'm reviewing this last one. I'm going to review it, and here's my incoming email, which is fine. I'm happy with that. There is a PDF on there. I could look at that and just check it. Is the incoming purchase invoice. And I'm happy with that. It's created a purchase document draft. It all looks okay to me. It's read the information from the PDF. It's created a purchase draft. I could confirm it. Notice here, I can actually, and it's the same thing with the sales agent, I can give further instructions to the agent as well. I could say, actually, please can you delete one of the items, add one of the items. I can interact with it if I want to. I'm not going to. I'm happy with that. Here's my purchase invoice into the system with the attachment on it as well. I'm happy with that. And that's posted. So we've got three things then coming in, two in November, one for hopefully next year at some point, certainly available in preview from January. So the two agents that you saw will be launched from November. And then the three-way matching, you're going to be getting that from, well, in preview from January, and then at some point during next year within this wave, you'll get that as well. But really like that, really interesting. There is some new functionality around sustainability as well. We already have sustainability. Here are the 5 pillars of sustainability. Business Central is tackling the first 2, of course. So we already have this nice dashboard that shows us the emissions that we're using. We already have the sustainability journal. What is new is Copilot. Copilot's kicking in and it's saying, well, one of the lines we knew about because we had the emissions table loaded, but 2 of them we didn't. But I'm helping you with those. So the flight and the hotel stay, I can help you with. And what it said here is, I've gone out and I've used AI to come back with the emissions for a typical flight between London and Frankfurt, and the emissions for a stay in a hotel in Hamburg as well. And then, of course, I can post that sustainability journal. That is going to be available to you in December. Analytics we already have, but I want to show you this specifically because of sustainability, actually, but also just to remind you that it's there, and there are some new features, some new fields, and new modules available within here. So you'll be able to click, and you'll be able to see the various apps. You can see I've got a valuation app here, and I've got a manufacturing one, a projects one, and so on. If I just flip into my software quickly, you'll see down here I have Power BI embedded. I'm going to expand it for you. This happens to be the sustainability one. It's one of the new dashboards. It's really quite cool. So I can say, okay, I'm going to click on hotels, and I get my emissions for hotels. I want to include electricity as well. I'm getting the usual sort of Power BI functionality. Lots and lots and lots and lots of lovely Power BI out of the box things. There's also a nice decomposition tree. So if I want to go look at, I don't know, maybe I look at scope 2 emissions, which is electricity, and I want to look at coal, or I want to look at nuclear, I want to look at this, and I can right click and drill right into the heart of the data. This is the sustainability journal itself, and I can even go further than that and back into Business Central if that's what I want to do. There are lots of lovely things there. You'll get use of those as you wish. The whole load of enhancements to all the Power BI reports, they're all coming out in October. So you'll be able to get at those almost immediately, not quite yet. Finally, we have a new module in the form of quality management. So this will be a brand new module, and it's going to bring into play quality testing, which is really quite exciting. So first of all, benefits you're going to get from it. First of all, it'll help you comply with standards and regulations for your industry. Secondly, it is obviously going to help you build customer trust through your consistency. It will, of course, help you reduce defects and improve your reliability. And it does integrate quality testing and quality checks into the receiving workflow. Don't have the software just yet, but I'm going to talk through just these few key features. First of all, it's going to give the following scope. So it will apply checks to either items, you can apply it to a group of items, you can pick on certain lots or serials or packs or whatever you need. You can also assess the physical attributes that you want. So this might be, weight, dimensions, density, other attributes you've created. You can decide when and how you trigger. So is it after receipt, before receipt? Is it after registration? Is it after production? Are you doing it when you schedule a production order? When are you going to trigger these checks? We also will be able to have sample sizes for third-party testing. So you'll be able to say things like, well, I'm going to test 10 of the 100 and they're going to be destructive testing or not. You'll be able to create quality test plans with triggers and parameters. So here you'll be able to say, I'm going to create this plan on this under these circumstances, and I'm going to carry out these tests. I'm going to test it for size, for color, taste, whatever it might be. And on failure, you'll be able to decide on whether you're going to quarantine the item when they're non-compliant. It's going to work within purchase receipts. It's going to work within production. It's going to work within assembly too. And you can also kick in manual checks if you desire. So if you decide you're going to carry a manual set of tests if you need to. You might imagine we're going to get a suite of output and analysis. So you're going to be able to produce quality certificates. You're going to be able to produce certificates of analysis where you get detailed data in a form that you've designed. There'll also be a quality status review role center, so real-time view of item quality, any issues you've got on a role center. And then finally, there will be quality order. So when you create a quality check, you get a quality order, and that quality order is really your record, a bit like a sales order or a purchase order, but it's a quality order that keeps track of where you are, what you've tested, what passed, what failed, and the attachments you've made to it, and so on. We're going to get this module hopefully in December, so that will be something that will be part of your regular updates. So I hope that's been of some use to you. I'm going to pass back to Nick now to summarise, but I hope you've enjoyed the content that we've given you.
Great, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that, and I appreciate there's a lot of information that you've covered about the upcoming webinar. Someone's clapping. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So yeah, great stuff, Kevin. Thank you for walking through those. As Kevin says, hopefully there was something there useful for all of you. I appreciate we cover a wide range of topics, so hope there's some bits you can take away. If there's anything that you want to look at in a bit more detail or would like to discuss further, or perhaps something you've heard that's coming in that you haven't seen today, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know. You can talk to your engagement manager or your project manager if you're sort of mid-project, and there is an email address shown at the bottom of the slide deck here as well. So feel free to contact us and we can provide you with any additional information that you need. Before we move on as well, just quickly and finish out, there will be a recording of this session, so that will be sent to you. So if you want to go back and revisit anything, you'll be free to do that once you get the link for the session as well. And then finally, just to talk a little bit about our next webinar, which will be on Thursday, the 27th of November. We've got a time at 11 a.m. as well, so same time as this. And the presentation that we'll be doing online again will be around leading change in a tech-driven world. So this will be run in conjunction with one of our leading partners, Blackshaw Howell, and we'll explore how to embed change management into your long-term tech strategy as well. So I think that with everybody, probably most people on this call have been through projects like that, not just Dynamics, but change management is absolutely key to that process. So we'll explore more about that topic in November as well. So finally, just to say thank you very much for your attendance. We hope it was useful, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again in November. Thank you.